Okay. That's all right.
Hey, Divine. You guys can have a seat if you want. It's
I love
not
this.
quite ready. Oh, thanks. I redid it.
Oh, we did it.
Yeah. I mean, it was just seemed like
Everything has
any vacation going.
Whoa, to be honest, mine has been quite a trip.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Oh my goodness. What about you? I've been wanting to know about you all past. California?
Yeah, we were living there for 2 years, and then we moved back here because all of my husband was going to school there. All of his classes went online.
Oh.
Plus, we normally rent out this whole house.
Oh, really?
But the bookings got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we were like, it doesn't make sense to pay mortgage and rent. So we came back and we used to rent out when we lived here. We used to rent out the basement and an upstairs room. So we were like, well, we'll start doing that again and see how it goes. So yeah.
Wow. So then no more mortgage. You sold the house in California?
So we didn't have a house there. We just rented.
Oh, it's all, hey, what's happening, man? So yeah, mortgage here. Y'all just came back here, and then y'all chose to do the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Well.
We're just kind of seeing what's going on with this. How long it's gonna last.
Okay.
We'll see.
It won't last for long.
You don't think so?
I know so.
You what?
I know so.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I was told by God.
Oh.
How long is it gonna last?
I'd like to know how long it's gonna last.
I can tell you.
How long?
When every single human recognizes spirituality and the physical world are one and the same, meaning that your emotions must be as stable as the outside world, what we touch. God is the equilibrium, and we've always had a misunderstanding of love in general, like humanity. And yesterday, I was given a message because you all don't know my past, and I don't only know a little bit of you all. But
Stop.
oh wait, let's see that he wants attention.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now, Mommy. Go to Daddy, okay? That's the problem with twins. You only have so many hands. You have like a... William, where's the salt? Did you put it somewhere?
It should be over there.
That sounds like a long time, though, before every human being recognizes that. That's gonna...
It sounds like it, but time is an illusion, and I'll prove it to you very soon. Oh, Divine. You're so shy. You're so apparent. Based on some methods. My name is Chavez again, because I know it'd be hard to.
Chavez or Chavez?
So Chavis. Yeah, whatever you choose to call it. Because no one will ever get it right, and it's okay.
But it sounded like the Latin American liberation guy. I thought it sounded like the Latin American liberation guy.
Chavez.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's all like interconnected though, because we are interconnected with names. But that's something I want to talk to you all about. Continue to wait so that I know you got that going on.
Oh no, I'm listening. I'm just
So I realized that children come first. That was first. And I realized that time, a long time ago, is just what you make the time out to be, every individual. But every single person knows these things. They just know. But until it's spoken around other people, then the knowledge is passed on. Because that's how knowledge passes. You must say it in order for it to exist. Or else it stays in your head. And children are in the time zone of their own. And that's just truth. But we push them to grow as fast as us when we had our time. And the oldest people on earth, they know that the youth is the future because they will continue after us. And when we see that everything was at a stop because everybody was born at one point and they came into the light, we will have more peace. But we have right now, which is 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 now, and now is always now. Because time doesn't exist unless the human moves. We look in the sky and we see white and blue right now. But when we think about how things were created, we just think about religion. Or we think about science. Science says Big Bang. And religion says God did it. But they both are right. Because science is all about what you can observe. And we can observe everything in real time, but I know that every time I say a word, no matter what, everyone hears it until I stop. And until someone speaks again, that silence feels strange. Am I not right?
What is it? You said what's the goal of all that? World peace?
Oh, yeah.
That's the goal of life?
Yeah.
World peace? And then what?
Can you imagine it?
I can imagine something of it.
You have to envision it all. But I can tell you, the question is, do you want me to tell you?
You want to tell me what?
What world peace looks like?
What is world peace?
World peace is exactly what it is. The world of peace. But what people want to know is what happens after world peace. Every single thing that happens in our heads. Because the reality that people choose is that all people just won't do it. Therefore, it won't happen.
Do people have free choice?
It starts with just one person.
He'll share with you.
All it takes is just one. And when that one person can broadcast it to everybody,
Your bottle? I'll get
then it'll happen. But I'll go ahead and be more blunt and straight to the point. Because there's so much going on. We have capabilities in 2020 that are unprecedented.
It's on the front porch.
The ability for everybody,
Hey, Albert, can you go get Donnie's bottle?
the ability for everybody to reach everybody instantaneously. And that's now. But that never was the case then. And there's one word that has brought everybody in some form together. And I believe you know what that word is that brought everybody together. Coronavirus. This one word has the world in their house.
That's true.
And it
brought
see it.
everybody apart.
And it, oh, wait, what did you say?
You said it brought everybody together?
Oh, yeah.
It brought everybody apart, though. Everybody's all in their own houses now.
Literally, yeah. Every single human, though, has a family. And within a house is a family.
What about people who live alone, though?
That is why they must have the bare necessities. And that is what we're talking about without saying the bare necessities. Because no one just told the most powerful man in the world, which I'll argue with anyone, is Donald Trump. He is. Just by title level. But if we go by who's the most popular, they normally always lose. If you want to use that in the context of using politics. The popular vote loses to the electoral vote. And those electorals are just people with titles. It's no different from everyone else. So what if, and I'm going to give you the answer, but you'll know it as I keep going forward, that time stood still for everyone by doing something on the internet that no one has ever seen before. And it's simply a person saying, I talked to God and I'm the messenger, and you know that I know that you know that I know that you're the reason why this hasn't come down to peace yet. Because you're not a peace. And that's every single adult. The children can't be blamed. Because the children are waiting on us. And they're here in the house and they want to be out there. You want to be with, you know. Thank you so much. And I realized that it just took.
Do you drink coffee? Do I drink coffee?
Yeah, I do.
This is just some strawberry.
Oh, the apple juices? Okay. Well, we'll wait. I'm hungry though.
Come here, boys.
The egg? What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I know I said I'd get you milk. I'll get you milk. You can sit by me then, Patch.
You do the same thing.
Oh, you want milk? Anybody want milk or water?
I'll just take some water.
All right. How about you, Devon? Milk? You want it in a bottle? That's what they love. Oh, they love it.
I know, right?
So, are you out of school right now? Are you So you're regularly in, like, what school do you go to? Are you glad you're out? Are you glad that you're out?
Every now we go there to talk to people because I don't like school in general.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like social.
Thank you.
So what are you doing with all your time off? Have you been bored?
Sorry. And she was talking.
Oh, no worries. Oh, I was saying, what are you doing, like, both, or I don't know, do you have time off? Because you have time off school, I'm guessing. Do you?
I just stopped everything.
Did you?
Everything. I have nothing. But, like, physical, that's really all I have. And I needed to get to know her because, as I told you all before, I found children to be reprehensible. And it was all because I just couldn't understand them. That I couldn't understand my own. And that's why my world went from, at one point I made like 100,000 in a year. A little more. And if I want to be honest, man, so incredible. If I want to be honest, I know that when I made a lot of money and became a person of greed, I hated everyone.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I did it, why not you all?
Yeah. Like looking down on everybody.
I looked down. So then I realized the ultimate truth that no one can fight me on, because I was like, how can I be right? Every time I would think about it, everybody Everybody, and then in the now, everybody will always think in some form, well, you're wrong. And I was like, I hate everybody now. I'm at the top, and no one knows that though, because I keep giving them a look like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Instagram and social media showing pictures of places I've been. And in reality, I know the truth that I'm not happy, even with money. And I was like, why is it that I never have time to even spend my money on what I want? And it's because I'm always in the past. I'm always in the past. I'm always in the past with memories. And they've been showing this in movies metaphorically. Like this. People are predictable only because we can see it. And in real time, people just do things because there are things happening. But I can automatically say words that would envision something that somebody wouldn't like to see, such as if children was out of this room. Then you all eyes, I know, would be looking at me.
Yeah.
And you know, and I know, and you know, and I know. Just always go back and forth.
That's been our life for like 5 years. Having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's always,
And you can't come together as one like you really want to because you have the little ones that must. And that's like universal.
Well, yeah.
Must be attended to.
They demand the attention right then. So even if you don't want to, you kind of have to. But it's good too. It does bring us together in a lot of ways.
Right, in a lot of ways. So how could you all create purpose in a family? Just really want to, if you have to answer.
If we could create purpose,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think on this side of eternity, but I mean you could create good and joy.
You sure can. We create it because it's tangible. I'm happy because of the fact I have water right now. And I'm happy that I have meat. But I know somewhere deep down inside I know this is bad for me. And we all know it too. And every single human, no matter what, they're not going to be like, but yes it is. Or they're going to say, in some form. But that's always what it is, in some form. So I decided when I went to the point of me being like a hateful person, when I was a hateful person, I was an atheist, by the way. And I'm here talking about God. So everything has reasons because everything's determined. Because cause and effect is universal. And if we just go back to the beginning, we can go back to the beginning of our society is built upon the Bible. No matter the religion, I don't care. The Biblos in Greek, or, Nothing? No, something though. That's what you throw up. And in your head, you come out into the real world and find out it's never true. And that's just the case for humans, because we love to be in here. So I was like, how do I stop time? I have to solve it. And I solve it by me already saying the words, because everything we do is about a message. But we do this, it's God. But we never get an answer. But yeah, we do. We always do. It's always a hero. Because God is not in the physical world. And a lot of times we're afraid of what we see because we thought we saw something and it wasn't there. But if you all have more questions, I won't go further because you have to know that I'm telling the truth. So God told me yesterday to be wise. He told me to just listen and just to be honest. And you all are going to just know that my plan that I'll give you in the future, which is going to be right at this table,
What's your plan?
you want to wait on your husband too?
Oh, I want to hear it.
You do? just tell people to just stop and say God is love. And it's every single human. And we can get to every single human because we have the internet. And we can go places to the people that we know.
Don't believe you, that's the problem.
They will, because they will see something that they didn't see before on video.
What?
Just us talking. The discussion is everything. But most people are afraid to have a video on them because they're going to be like, but I may say the wrong thing. But I already know that you won't. Because I know that the plan works based off of how humans work. And humans love to be entertained. And they love seeing happiness. And when I think about this movie called Gladiator, y'all ever seen that? There's a part.
I think so. Yeah, I think I've seen
There's a part where Russell Crowe says, "Are you not entertained? Are you not?"
it. Yeah.
And all he's doing, dun, dun. And people just, when that happens, the things stop because they're like, what's, because everything must be balanced. So I'm going to tell you now the real truth. God is in the center of the earth. And if you have questions, I'll ask them. Oh, you know. You know. Because he told me. He told me already before. And I already recorded in the past that this conversation was going to happen. It was going to go the way I want it. Because the children is going to know the truth. And even if you all choose not to, they know. Because they always like to do things. They always know that I need time. I need time. And then it's when a child is not understood and that's ADHD. That's what a human adult. But they're in their own time. And they're never at fault because they're innocent. But no one's innocent based on God. Because God started it all. And God makes mistakes, but humans call him perfect. Or call him him. But they're women. Why can't he be her? Why can't, that's all people do. It's the one main thing, no matter the language, they say why. But all they have to do is just make it based on the literal fact. If you go to the Bible, if you go into the Bible, and if we're going to keep things as it is, every word is what it is, we will see it. So, in the Bible, everybody in some form knows that it says, in the beginning.
What's the next part?
God created the heavens and the earth. But when we see it from a flat surface. So that's why people used to think the earth was flat at one point in time, until they got the internet, and then we started circulating photos, because that invention came out of the ability to capture life, because we do it with our eyes. We always do that. Because it was meant to be. Everything's been determined. We capture everything in life, but where does it go? We all know it goes up in here. But we can't trust this, because our whole past is a memory. Everything that keeps happening.
What do you trust then?
You just trust reality. And reality is, our world is built off of a book that people use pragmatics, but not semantics. Do you all know what pragmatics and semantics is?
So, practically and
Like
language, right?
There's a meaning. And if we just... You sure you don't want time? Well, then you're more than welcome to go back downstairs. Just know that you'll be held accountable. And you know what I mean. So, the Word of God talks about a messenger. And if we're going to talk about Christianity, we got to talk about Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. It doesn't matter. It's just humans. Like, that's just what it is. And they can't fight that. If they want to, then we'll just call them delusional. Because that means that you're here acting like this isn't happening. Because it is. But every time we say a word, people become distracted. And that's just what it is. As soon as I say a word, I distract someone. But the children, if they're around, you have to pay attention to them too. So you got like a reality of my mentality, and everything that creates will tells me that I must look after my children. And if it comes down to it, if you're caught on video and you say, I don't give a care about my children, the world will destroy you with words because they're not here. And no one else is here until we utilize some form of communication, which is everything that makes humans not be able to get along, is communication. And we use communication in so many different ways, but we just know them. Like talking and body language. Like if I just was talking calm and did the opposite, if I just start doing this, you all just keep looking at me, then maybe you all might pay attention. But that's just obvious. Everything is obvious. And everything is everything. And God is love. And God's love by humans just simply stopping time.
How do we stop time though? I don't get what you're saying.
We just stop by stop doing what we're doing in the now to create a future by letting everybody know all you got to do is stop what you're doing and say God is love and get on video and say it and put it on the internet and the internet shuts down. And get Donald Trump to say it.
Why does the internet shut down?
Because the internet can't handle 7.5 billion people doing it.
Hey, boys, but people mean different things when they say that too.
They do, and their actions have to prove. And if their actions don't prove, we don't get to the center of the earth, where God is at. Because it takes knowledge.
How do you convince it? I mean, that's the problem with every religion, every thought. You want to convince people of what you believe.
That's the thing. It will when I tell them that God is in the center of the earth, and what you believe.
What do you mean the center of the earth? Like the literal center of the earth?
The literal center of the earth in our real world is where He's at, because science says so.
It says that God's in the center of the earth? Of this world?
Of this world. But we just
why
don't.
Why would God be the center of this world?
Because that's where He started it. Just look at the Bible. All you got to do is take His word as semantics. It don't matter the language. You're going to know His meaning. If you see it as a creator, we must become God in order to be God. It's as simple as that. And God is love. And humans show love. And the earth is what keeps us here. That's why we keep trying to go out there. Because they told us to. And that's just what humans said. The heavens. The heavens. That is the heavens. But once you go outside of it, it's what God was in the first place. Just space. And space is infinite. And that's mathematics. And I can't be proven wrong. Because the smarter people in the world is going to be like, well, yeah, he's right. But then there's this, and but then next this, and but then next this. And it's always that but that people like to do. If they only listen. But a lot of the time we need silence to do that. And that's what I was doing down there. I needed it. But I needed too to have the silence so that I could get to know her, because all I did was have too much going on in here. I'm not having a good sex life. But that word automatically, as soon as you hear it, children's ears stop, don't hear it. We're stopping them from growing because they already know. Because the earth, no matter what we say, takes our souls. We go back to the earth, no matter what. All we got to do is reverse time. And it's God. And there's a creator. And that's it. And you can't say anything further, because you're going to go further than Him. Well, you're going to say the creator of the creator, the creator, the creator. And that's why people do. And then that's why you get people insane asylums. Because they always figure it out in here, but they don't know how to talk well. So that's why that's just life. Because all of us are trying to just come together. But we have knowledge that we are afraid to give because if we say it, then somebody might hold us accountable. Because we just said it wrong.
That doesn't sound good, does it?
It doesn't. But I know that he's fine. But you can check. I know that.
Careful. Okay. I see you.
I know you're doing a lot of cogitating over there.
Well, I know what you're saying. That I think we have fundamental differences in our views of who God is. You kind of know what my God is, and I kind of know what your God is, but they're too different.
Well, you talking about like a white God, black God then?
No, like a God who is separate and outside of this world. Instead of a God who is the world, that we are part of God.
Well, that's the thing. So you got to look at it in this perspective. And the reason why you are like this right now is because you can't see it yet because world peace hasn't happened. And you're just going to always be like, well, we won't see it in our lifetime. We won't see it in our lifetime. We won't see it in our lifetime. And that's all we do. But we know one thing, that there is light and there is dark. And that is it. And when you think about light and dark, and you think about the universe, what is within the dark? The light. That's all you see, is lights. When you look into the sky at night, you see lights. And that is just semantics. But that's not what people do. They always go off of speaker belief. And most people's speaker belief is going to be like, you didn't talk to God, even though I literally stated it. But who's going to be held accountable in the end is the person that received the message that world peace is coming, which I stated. But no one else has. And if somebody's going to say that, they're going to say it, but they said it in their head. They didn't tell somebody that. And that's all God expects us to do. Is just say it.
How come we haven't achieved world peace before?
Because it was determined for this to happen. It just took a person to get the message because people keep doing things because they see things. We see black people. Black people are upset with black people because they look up and they be like, well, that's the heavens, and people get upset over death. And be like, well, when you die, but no one knows. And that's just fact. Because if you're going to say you know what happened after death, then the person should say it. But somebody's going to say, how would you know if you didn't go there? And no one knows. Because death is just what it is. We see everything through this. Let's say if we destroy time, which we will, and I'm saying that just so you know, going forward after I leave, I told you. At least I told you. Everything is in here, and that is it. Simple as that. If that was gone, then how would you know? Because I've went the last 30 days without paying attention to what they've been saying. Every sign, everything that happens is a sign. Right? Every single thing that happens in real life is a sign that you're going to be like in your head. So what did that mean? Did that mean this?
Yeah, it means something bright.
Oh, what you say?
It means something bright.
It means something bright. But you know what I mean. When I say bright, it's just inside of here, and we want to do like songs. Like one of them you might remember. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. All right, when this person did that, because they never seen it. I never seen a person, because it's never happened, and that's just facts, and it can't be fought, because no human can do it. Because if they're gonna do it, I want to see it with my real eyes. But somebody can get on here and do a video and show you this, or I can take like the primitive people, as they call them, and show you. But I'm gonna go downstairs and show you a piece of paper so that you see what God sees. Because you see everything the way you should see it out here. But in here, you can't see it because it's hard to visualize with your eyes closed. So, what I mean by time doesn't exist is that God stated that He created the heavens and earth, and He created light, and saw that it was good. But it also said the earth was unformed. And the earth is full of water, and the earth didn't have land before. And that's just the fact that the person is going to have to cogitate, cerebrate, ruminate on that fact. Because it's just the truth. The earth was water only. It was a ball, and everything in space is balls of something. Let me figure it out. Spheres is what we may want to call them, because that's what we see. You see, and sometimes we be like, I wish it just, but it won't, because that's in your head. But the truth is that out there, that's all you see is the balls. And that's what the creator is. It's just a maker. But in the earth, he created life. And we're trying to go out there, but gravity keeps us down. That's why I can't until I put energy. And then we start thinking of these things like movies and Matrix. And Matrix is the truth, because that's what we're in. Here. But then as you snap back to reality, and that's what's the enemy says, and then everything's in your head. Because every day we go to sleep and we lose track of time. Because all it is a sun and a moon that gives light at different times. And the time for us is to realize that the light that shines in the dark was just given to us so that we can see, so we don't be afraid. Every time I left out, I can't explain what I've been going through, because it sounds like I'm very composed right now. I went through so much to be able to just get right here.
Oh, really?
You just don't know. And I can't even show you, other than just show you videos of me on Instagram trying to tell people that world peace was coming back in January. But I was just telling people that. But I really was not sure, though. So I was always scared every time I showed myself, because I was like, what is it that I can do now that I couldn't do if I mind travel back to Moses' time? Moses could never see himself unless he looked at some water. That's just a fact. Because glass wasn't created when he was alive. So he looks at water and he sees himself. But then he walks away. And all he sees is what's around him, but he can't see himself. But we can if we look at a video. And have you ever seen yourself sleeping before?
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen yourself sleeping? Videotape yourself. Does that bring you dread as soon as you be like, so when I'm in the dark and I'm sleeping, what happens? You don't know, because you're in your head. And that's just a fact. The only people that can see you is the people outside of you. And that's a fact. And every single thing I keep saying is a fact, but somebody will be like, but what's your meaning? That God is love. And all we got to do is just show God is love. And then if we show God is love, people will know, one, we can come together.
Well, but then what's love?
What's love? Is love.
That's the next question, right?
Is love. It's us working together to get to the center of the earth. And everybody can be able to do it.
Like digging?
Not even digging. We use the powers of what he gave us. Light must cut dark. And to get to the center of the earth, we don't got to go through this. We just got to go through the water. And we see the water in the sky because he tells you in the Bible that he split it. And he split it, and when he created the ground, how did he do it? If we know that this is space, because space is this, and space is out there too. And that's just a fact. So then, if you're going to create something, you normally start in the middle. And that's all he did. He said he made man in the image of him.
Yeah.
Showed his spirit. His spirit is what. But we want to see it. But we can't. It just can't. We haven't been to the center of the earth. No one has.
But if you have, you would see it then?
You would see it then. Because.
But if you're creating something, like if you're creating a sphere, you're outside the sphere. So you create the center of the sphere, you create the sphere, you create all the people, if you had dogs on the sphere. So why would God be in the center of it? Because if God created it, he'd be outside of it.
That's what you would think. But he's God. And he can be there. When we always think about everything like a black hole, it's trying to take everything into the inside. Everything that we do is about in. And that's all he did was just, and that's what happened in the beginning. It just happened. That's what we say. It just happened. Oh, that just happened. And it's just all it did. Because everything moves forward. That's why there's nothing but philosophers and scientists that speak on the arrow of time. It's because we keep moving forward. If every human, just visualize it, 7 point whatever billion, because that's the one thing that we're obsessed with is numbers. Because that's all we see. Once we look over here, we feel a sense of dread, because if those numbers show that we need to be doing something, then we're rushing. But when we rush, we can't slow down because we're trying to do something that this is telling us. We created numbers based off of, we needed to know we got 9 planets. Sun is 0 though, but we just don't see it the way that's why we're so fascinated. Because the sun is 0. And they go around in a circle. They balance on an axis. And we wonder how they float. It's because there's something that holds it there that you can't see. And the earth, gravity, we can't see it, but you're going to always fall down. Because we're meant to go within the earth. Because the water is there for a reason. We're 70% water. And the earth is 71? Or are you 71% and the earth is 70?
The earth is 71%.
Oh, she's smart too, isn't she? She's just shocked.
That's why I called her divine, and I didn't know why when she first.
Oh, really? I wondered if that's why you named her divine, but you didn't know that.
Because at that time, I was a Christian. And then I became an atheist. And I was hard atheist. I was like, how dare you believe in God when everybody down there, you see black people getting shot. That's all I was doing. Because no one was listening to that. It's like, all right, I get it. Let's move on. All right, I get it. Let's move on. All right, I get it. Let's move on. And when we just be like, all right, I'm tired of this. Coronavirus got us in the house when we should be out there with each other. I'm not about to listen to a word a human tells me to do again. I'm just going to do what love is. And love, we know what it is, but we can't do it because we don't have time. That's only meant to track. That is all it is. A human shouldn't tell another human what to do. That's facts. We all don't want to be under anyone. But how do we get the people that don't like that to do it? Like, if we was to say, I'm a Democrat, the Republicans, blah, 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 this and that. They're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. And they can't fight it because in the end, what do you want to do? Eventually it's going to come down to, you got to make sense. And if I keep telling you that you're right, and you eventually say something on camera that the world could see is wrong, they will stop. And I just need to talk to Donald Trump. And that's all y'all got to help me do. Because they see that, the world will just be like, but the CIA is going to get you. This is going to get you. But they're listening. But they're not. Because I've been saying all sorts of wild things that you really don't know, but I videotaped it. And I'm going to give it to Donald Trump and the CIA and be like, make sure when you torture me, you videotape it. If people seen that live, they're going to be
but I don't think we can believe what they see.
They don't.
Because even videos, you can make that up. So you can have this video that's true, that's real. It doesn't mean people are going to believe it still. They've been lied to so much that who knows if it's true. They might say, oh yeah, he probably made this up, or you know, one person says, like Donald Trump could say, yeah, he made that up. And everybody will, you know, depending on who they already believe, they're either going to believe that it's real or it's not.
Right. And that's why I be like, where I don't have no address. I don't have a house. I live at her mother's house. But her mother is full of anger. And I had to leave. That's why we're here. Because I needed to focus. I needed some space. And that's everybody says that. I need some space. Leave me alone. Close the door. And they're alone. They always will be. Until they open up the door in reality. They go people. A lot of us are just scared. Especially black people. Because as soon as they see in real life white,
Did you feel dread, like just seeing because we're white? Really?
And as every black person does.
Really?
And because you actually, and you're right, because you're a child and you don't see what I see, because I just grew up in a time of hate. But she has been trying to heal me since she was born. Divine. I named her for a reason. She's like, just stop that hating. Focus on me. But I'm like, I can't. Because the government, and I'm just saying this in my head, of course, I can't. The government. I can't. The government.
Isn't it crazy how kids make you do that? Make you focus on what is important to them, and lots of times that's what should be important.
If you all watch this movie called The Platform, it's inside of Spanish, but it's like the top 10 movies. Yeah, Netflix. What?
The Platform?
It's called The Platform.
He speaks Spanish better than he speaks English. So.
Oh.
It's in Spanish?
Yes. If you believe in semantics and you only look at the movie just based on semantics only, that means that your brain has to be able to pick up on every single word as it keeps going. But in movies, most of the time we're with somebody. So we're sitting, and if we're listening, we don't just want to just be like, oh, what did he say? Well, you got to stop everybody else to do that.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention to a movie based on message and was like, there's a reason, and there's a reason, and there's a reason, and there's a reason, and there's reason, and there's always reason for everything. And it started with God. And nobody is going to say, but God don't exist without them being interrogated. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have to make sense of where did you come from and what is your purpose?
Yeah.
Because if you're just here existing, then you're looking to die until you have purpose. And when I was talking with God, because when I tell you that I talk with him, I mean it based on semantics. If you ever see me doing any strangeness, it was because of that. Because I'm totally fine now, and I can literally go against any human on earth except for somebody that don't speak my language. That's why all I need is just one person to believe in me. Because they know that I know that they know that I did talk to him. Because everything I've been saying makes sense enough, but you're still like, but I can't see it yet until it happens. And that's how the future works. Because what is the future? The future. The future. The future. Because we keep going into it every time we do something until I stop. And if everybody stopped and just stared at each other, then we would feel something strange. Somebody has to do something. And children keep showing us what we need to do. We need to stop and look at them. And if everyone on earth knew that the government needs to end and a new government must occur, and that new government must have equal access by everyone being transparent. If every single human is transparent, then how is there a lie? We have the ability to record. Why are we afraid of them watching us when they already have this conversation? If they're listening, they hear it. Government, I don't hate you. I want you to just simply be with your children. Please, let's get world peace. Are you listening? God, if I'm telling a lie, why don't you just strike me down? Because it just won't happen. Because he is in the center of earth holding us here and telling us to get it together. The coronavirus is real based on the science. But we don't know who's infected. And we don't know who died until someone opens their mouth. And you will get it. Here. And Satan does exist because he's in here and in here. Because everything we watch, if we had a camera, that's all we're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
And it can't. And if this whole conversation was simply recorded and people just seen it, then they'll be like, "What?" But people don't got time though. So what could work in a few seconds that equals a minute? Because the 1 minute is something that everybody is like working on. Like 1 minute videos, TikTok, 1 minute. TikTok is a 1 minute platform. Instagram has a 1 minute platform. Facebook is not a 1 minute platform, and it never was. But that's why they came out. Instagram came out because they knew people needed time, and people was wasting their time on Facebook arguing. And that's all they do. And they're getting upset over what? Because the reality is the coronavirus got you with your family. But the real reality is, how long are you going to be with your family? Everybody's wondering, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? When is coronavirus going to end? The president's not going to do anything. No one's going to do anything. It's going to keep getting worse. It's going to keep getting worse because everybody is working together to get to a peak in which we go down. But we need to keep going down to what's been holding us together, the core. And the core, which is so hot, but the science is that the core is about as hot as the surface of the sun. So if we can get to the center of the earth, because we're talking about climate change and many other different things, all we have to do is get to the middle of the earth to find out what's there, because we have to get to not just know oneself, but we must know our earth. And we really don't know it. And we keep trying to leave it. Why do people keep dying every time they go into space? Because there's no oxygen. And we don't have enough oxygen to last out there. So what are we trying to do? We need to get to know the inside of Earth, the inside of Mars, the inside of Venus, the inside of Mercury, the inside of Saturn, the inside of Jupiter, the inside of Pluto, the inside of Uranus. Uranus. And then we'll get to the inside of the sun, because the sun is what keeps them all together. And we know that as long as we get to the inside of Earth, there's no way that we can lose. Because if we want to get to Mercury and land on there, huh? Are you being a prescriptive grammarian?
No. Smarty pants.
Smarty pants. But that's one thing.
You got a smart daughter.
Exactly. Which is why I had to get into this mode of, let me give you time so you can talk.
No, thank you. She doesn't like to talk.
Because the tension of children is like, I get what you're saying, and even they know what I'm saying.
Put that down. Thank you.
But they just can't communicate it to us because they don't know yet. Because we teach them how to talk, but not everybody teaches everybody good how to talk. I know many black people that should not have their children.
Ooh.
And I know many white people that shouldn't have their children. Just for a time being, though.
The problem is, though, because we were foster parents for a while, there's not a lot of people who should have children. You don't want to, you don't want kids to get taken away from one family and go to somebody who's not their blood, and it's a lot worse.
And how do we end that? By monitoring people. And people can monitor each other by not ever invading anyone's privacy as long as we all have access. If everybody has access to anything that has been recorded.
Sure. I don't know. I don't like that. Like all these Google phones, it just feels like you can't have a normal conversation because someone's always watching.
Because that's now. But in the future of world peace only occurs. I'll wait.
Yeah. Get one for Lena too, okay?
How come we haven't ate?
So you guys aren't worried about the coronavirus at all?
No, because it doesn't exist. Not here.
You're not worried either? I mean, I'm not, but...
It doesn't exist in real life. So in real life, it doesn't exist because no one knows in real life who has coronavirus. They just know that people are being infected. That's all they know. until you ask somebody that passes it back to you that this particular person do have it. But the people who have coronavirus already has it.
Yeah.
They won't know until they display what people are scared of, the symptoms. That's it. And people are afraid, but they just need to hear that, hey, this is me on video, and I'm confident enough, not just confident enough, I 100% know, 1,000% know, 10,000% know that the people who have coronavirus, if they have it, they will either be symptomatic or asymptomatic. And if they're symptomatic, we can help them if we just take the time to deal with the people who are infected. And the people who are infected either know they're infected or they don't. And the people who don't know are afraid to go and get checked because they hear the word quarantine. And quarantine is what scares people. Because the next thing that people think, quarantine, martial law. Martial law. Martial law leads to death.
Yeah.
Well, are you guys going back to Chicago today? How are things back there?
Yeah, are people all inside or?
We actually live in Maryville, so I haven't seen Chicago other than it's out of here. But if I go there, I'm sure I'm going to see not a lot of people out because.
What about Maryville? Like
Maryville
in your community, are people?
They're inside of the house.
They are okay.
But that's the thing. I really don't know because if I give you any type of like so-called truth, it will be just what this told me. But what I've seen is nobody is even here. Like nobody's concerned. They doing like they got like stuff up, like stores are closed, but I see like people still close by, and I see police driving right by them, not stopping them. Because these mandates are just a word. Like, nobody's going to follow this. Because eventually people are going to get upset. Like, one person that does show up on here, he has killed himself because he can't stand being quarantined. Man, I can send you the article because I'm not lying. Because every single thing that I'm saying, I can prove based on past. Because I have it in here, but I got to take the time just to do that. And if I could, if I had enough time today, and it's 9:30. Huh?
We gotta go for 20 more minutes. So.
Yep. And that's.
I know, you were saying that. That's true.
Because I already knew.
You know what you have.
Yep. And you just realize that, well, at the end of the day, I got the message. So what I will tell you is what 100%, once again, you can hold me accountable for. I did say I talked to God because I did. And I went through a lot to do that because I had to get rid of everything. And I have nothing now. And I really have nothing until I just realized that I have a human that I love.
That's priceless too. Better than $100,000 salary.
Than everything. And once I realized that I needed nothing in reality other than just a place to get to know her, then when I was alone and I told her every bit of my truth, because she's sitting here hearing everything, do you believe everything Daddy's saying? Are you telling the truth?
Yes.
I'll take it as face value. That's why we say that. Because it won't be face value until she does something like, what are you talking about? You don't make sense. I'll make sense for you again. A lot of the time people just can't listen to everything because there are real world distractions. And I will not take up you all's time because that's all time is what you have. And it's this that I will stop. Because world peace will stop this. And we will get world peace. And then you will get everything you want because I'm passing that message that that's what God wanted me to tell you. Don't worry. Even if you don't act, I will. And you will see me on here. And you're going to be like, yep, I see what's happening. Because you already see it. It started. People are at home. Most people want to be there, but just be there knowing that if I get to the next month, my bills will be paid. And world peace is the bare necessity that the government will have to do. Because I'm going to tell them. And they're going to have to do it because people are going to chant. Bare necessity. Everyone must have access to electricity. Access to the internet. Access to food. Access to water. And have shelter. Every single one. And when that happens, all evil stops.
How does that happen, though?
By the government.
How does the government do that?
The government can do it instantly. But they can't because people keep going into panic right now. Because the government keeps saying the same words that the media keep telling them. Uncertainty. 2 weeks. Stimulus checks. Now, everybody might have to wait 18? But I have a bill. I really have real life right now. I got to take care of her. And I have nothing. And I told you all that. But I don't want you all to do anything for me because I need you all to trust me by me going into the future and you saying that I'm going to do everything that I told you all would do. And I left the message. And that's all that God told me to do. Is just tell you all. And if you all are going to be spurred to action, you will call me and be like, I see what you're doing. What do you need me to do? And that's it. So I'll leave you all be because I know that they need that attention. Hey, y'all got to get to doing what you do.
I'm really glad to meet you. It's good to talk. And I love this face-to-face. I know you say online, but I guess I'm old school. I don't really get things unless I'm talking to somebody.
Unless you're talking to somebody.
So.
And they will too, because they're going to be like, well, if you're so true, I need to see you.
Yeah.
I'll literally one day be at a place where I'll be like, you can come here.
Yeah.
You can come here. And when everybody got the bare necessity, they can come here because the bare necessity takes people working together, and the people that need the most attention is the children. And that's true. Children are taken care of, and babysitters receive more money. I'll stop. Y'all think on that. Y'all can call me. I really want to eat the eggs, but I know since when you want to leave, how do because I was gonna leave. Is it possible that I could stay until 12 to get things together?
There was somebody who was asking about check-in, which was why I thought, but she's not staying. She canceled. So
yeah, you told me.
Anytime, yeah, whenever you leave is fine.
Okay.
And you can just leave the keys on the counter. We might not be here.
If y'all know, it's fine.
Either way.
Yeah, I don't.
There, yeah.
I know it's hard to trust nowadays, but I won't. I'll leave.
I'm not worried.
And